Its origin, envy means to look into, right? And to feel resentment or discontentment for something someone has, a possession, or maybe a quality or trait that we'd like to have within ourselves that we see in someone else. So to look into, and so it's connected to the heart because when we have resentment or we feel resentment, it's often connected to the heart chakra. And looking at the origin of the word resentment, it's to refeel, resentir. And what are we refeeling when we see a quality or when we see a possession that someone has that we would like, right? Are we feeling happy for them, or are we envious of them? Are we seeing in them something that we haven't perhaps worked for ourselves, or maybe it hasn't been the time for, or we don't have the resources, whatever, whatever the case is, it is to see in someone else something that we perhaps have been lacking or have been wanting, right? And so with envy, we could see it through the eyes. Literally, we can feel it. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but it's a strong sensation that you can pick up when someone is looking at you with envy. It could also be radiated in that way unconsciously. So, when people say, "Oh, that must be nice," comments like that sometimes can be rooted in envy. It may not be consciously like, "Oh, I'm envious of this person," yet just being aware of those comments, because essentially what we want to do is kind of check in with a little ABC formula, and A is to be aware of the envy, to acknowledge it within ourselves, because we'll feel it in the heart. Again, that's why it's connected to the heart energy, because in the heart is where we can hold a lot of resentment. The heart is our energy that gives and receives it. The heart is how we love self and how we share with others, how we accept others, how we connect with others, how we give and receive. That's why it's connected to the arms and the breath and the expansion of the lungs. Breath is life. So the heart energy really is our bridge to connect heaven and earth. So when it's blocked with resentment, it's blocked by looking externally at, what does this person have that I don't, right? There's comparison. There's looking into that, just so maybe validating the lack. So coming from a place of awareness, of acknowledging the envy, whether it's towards you or you towards someone else, it's key to acknowledge, right? Sometimes just bringing awareness to something can really just neutralize the energy. The B is to bless it, right? Because blessing shifts, right? I shared a Marianne Williamson video not long ago, and it's a concept that I've heard many wise people share, and it's true. When we bless someone else for what they have, even if we want it or if we think we're lacking, it's like it sends a message of, I'm open to receive that, okay? And the C is to change, whether it's changing perspective on what one is envious of, changing perspectives on how other people see us if we're feeling envy from others, because change is the only way that we can either get that quality or that possession, or change is the only way to shifting our perspective is the only way that it's going to neutralize, again, that energy. So again, envy is to see into, typically with resentment or discontent. But when we bring awareness to that, when we work on the heart energy, it allows us to let go of that resentment, to refeel in a way where it's with joy and love and blessings versus envy and lack. Okay, so ABC, awareness, acknowledge, bless, and change. Namaste.